Happy Friday. It is Memorial Day weekend, whatever that means in our ever contracted social distancing world. I figured people are over it, and it is now time for us to try to have some semblance of normalcy. And a 3-day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, is probably the time that everybody is going to want to try to see one another. And I wanted to talk about the correct way to wear a mask if you choose to wear a mask. And so what I have here is an assortment of all the different masks that are available for you to try out. And so what I wanted to start with first is just the general cloth mask. So this is what it looks like. Obviously, it has pleats in order to expand and allow for there to be some conforming to your facial shape. It has these very flexible ear loops that are not elastic. This is one that was donated by somebody very generous and creative for work. And so it's very simple. You would just put it on your face, like so. And make sure that it is covering your nose and your mouth. So many people I have seen will allow the mask to slip on down over their mouth, over their nose, and not really covering the nose. And we know good and well that this bug can come out of the nostrils as well. So you're not really helping yourself or helping anybody else if you let the mask slide down. The other thing I wanted to mention is that when you do take the mask off, make sure that you're not touching the front of it, because let's say that there are viral particles hitting the front of the mask. You don't want your hands to then get in contact with that part of the mask and then contaminate yourself. And, you know, if you're like me, you need some sparkle in your life. So I always enjoy something that shows off my personality, which is sparkly. And you'll notice that this one is more uncomfortable because of the fact that it is tighter along my face. And unlike the cloth mask that I had before with the tighter or the looser ear loops, this is tighter, so my ears are jutting forward. So when you're thinking about a mask that you want to wear for an extended period of time, comfort is a major factor. So if your ears feel like they are being tugged, or if your face feels constricted, it's unlikely that you're going to keep this on for a long period of time, no matter how cute it looks. Because you can see my lip print, my nose print, and it's like I am being constricted by it. It is not fun to wear. Cute, but not fun to wear, much just like high heel shoes. The good thing about these cloth masks is that you can wash them in the laundry, and they are reusable, so you don't have to worry about being wasteful. You can have more than one, throw them all in the wash at the end of the week. So that is very convenient. So on to your surgical mask. This one does have more filtration abilities than your cloth mask because it has a tighter weave fabric. So back to the cloth masks, you want to make sure that you're using something that has 100% cotton, at least 2 layers, so that you can get the most filtration for a homemade mask. Now, the great thing about surgical masks and somebody who makes a cloth mask that thinks about this is that these masks have this metal band that can help to shape your nose. So once again, you don't want to touch the front of the mask. You just want to put it on over your mouth and your nose and pinch the mask down as though you're trying to stop a nosebleed. So that way, it has a little bit more of a way to conform to your nose, to your face. Now, something that I have noticed just this past week seeing folks in the office is that people are really fighting with the mask. They want to talk as though the mask is not there. They're competing with it. And what I have seen is people will talk to the point that they are almost working the mask off of their face entirely. And I know that looked crazy, but I'm seeing people do this. And what ends up happening? They are moving the masks up, they're touching it, they're moving it, they're readjusting it, and it's almost as though subconsciously they are fighting with this thing. And so I'm a pragmatist. If you are touching your face to get your mask back in place, either one of two things are going on. It's the wrong size for you. You're not being conscious about how you are moving your mouth and moving your face as you talk. Sometimes you need to just speak more towards the front of your voice and not use as much of your jaw to work the mask off. And if it is one that is just uncomfortable, don't wear it. Find something else to wear because it's not the right one for you. And if you do have to adjust, be sure to try to not touch the front of it. So the surgical mask is really designed to be used only once. However, if it is not visibly soiled, if it is not moistened with either saliva or a cough or a sneeze, then I don't see a problem with you using it again. But you want to make sure that it still has the ability to filter out any kind of particles. And back to that, these masks are really designed to keep whatever you speak or whatever you sneeze or whatever you cough with you so that you don't spread it to other people. So if anything, these masks are more designed to protect others from you as opposed to the other way around. Now, to flip things around a little bit, these masks here are designed to more protect you from other people. This is the N95 that everybody knows about, that healthcare workers are desperate to have. So to that point, if you have one, great. But in your usual daily circumstance of going to the grocery store and being in a large environment that's well ventilated and not necessarily right up close and personal to somebody who's ill, you don't need to use this kind of mask. But if you have it, make sure you wear it properly. So this is one that becomes more uncomfortable because it is designed to really cause a tight seal around the nose and the mouth, unlike these other cloth masks, which are looser around the mouth and the nose. So these still have the ability for viral particles to work underneath, whereas this one, not as much. So how do you wear an N95? The lower strap goes on first. So you want to put it over your head and around your neck. And then the upper strap, you put it on above and at the top of your head. And now once again, you can probably hear from my voice that this is a tighter seal. And you want to once again pinch your nose piece so that it is a tight fit. Now this is not designed for extended wear for the average person. And if you have lung issues like asthma, if you are claustrophobic, if you are doing a lot of physical activity, this may not be the mask that you want to be wearing on a regular basis because it's going to be too much to handle. So once again, the cloth masks are probably going to be the best for you. Now, one thing about this mouthpiece here, it allows for your breath to escape. So if your breath is escaping, you're not really protecting anybody with this mouthpiece here. So if you're going to wear an N95, it would be best for one to not have this mouthpiece at all, or wear a cloth mask or a surgical mask over it so that once again, you are still protecting yourself from other people. This is a lot going on here. This is not meant to be used all the time. And the only thing that I can suggest is that if the mask is uncomfortable, it is unlikely that you're going to wear it for a long period of time and it will not serve your purpose. So once again, we talked about how to take it off or put it on. Let's see how we take it off. You start with the top loop and then down, and then the bottom loop and then up, making sure you're not touching the front of it. And if it's time to throw it away, you throw it away. Now, on to the big gun. This is an N100. What does N95 mean? It means that it blocks out 95% of particles. The N100 blocks out nearly 100%. The N is just to let you know what type of particles that a mask can filter out. So a P95 does the same thing as an N95, but a P95, think of it as for paints. So things that have oil to them. So you really see P95s being used in more of a construction type capacity, not in a healthcare capacity. So this is the mask that I use at work, because the procedures that I do have a high chance of putting viral particles into the air. No one needs to use this to go to the grocery store, and I wouldn't wish this upon anybody because this one, hello, look at this. So first you start with putting the strap down and over your neck. Same difference, and then it goes over your nose and you put this headpiece on. Can you even hear me now? No. And you have to do the suction test. To breathe in, you check this test here. And if it makes a good suction, you know it's on tight. Same thing with this front piece. You press here and blow out. You don't want to be able to blow out. So once this test is done, then you strap this thing on good and hard to your face, and then you go about your day. This thing is not fun. It is difficult to breathe in. You have to get used to it. This is not anything that anybody outside of healthcare needs. If you have one, fantastic. But you notice how loud and slow I have to speak in order for people to understand me. So once again, this is overkill in a setting outside of a hospital. You don't need to use this for the oxygen. You don't need to use this kind of mask for everyday life. So as you navigate through everyday life, think about the number of people that you are around, whether or not you know all of them, whether or not you have fresh air, whether or not you have access for washing your hands, because we got to live our lives. We are human beings, but it's just about adding a few extra layers of protection for ourselves and for others, but also making it so that it's something that you can work with and not work against. So I hope that you found this helpful. Everybody have a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend, and I will do the same. Mwah! Love you all. Bye.